Hello, everybody out there in internet land. Welcome back to another small podcast. This is where we're going to be talking about sports, Pokemon, games, and boys' weekends. I am Luke.
I'm Drake.
And I'm Dave. Let's get into it.
I don't know. It was a
I
slight
hated-
spasm.
I hated that a lot.
Are you Popeye?
You're the weird guy on the corner of the street there, buddy. Oh my god.
You want to buy a watch? Like, you know,
This weekend aged me, man.
look.
Oh my
That's the
God.
craziest intro I've ever been
my
a part
God.
of. This is how the weekend. That's to summarize it, eh?
Oh,
Blood, sweat, lack of respect.
man. Lack of respect.
So
That was for sure.
yeah, we all kind of have our own separate weekend. Usually on a Sunday we wrap up something that we've usually done as a team. This weekend wasn't like that. We all did our own things, really.
Yeah.
So why don't you
Yeah.
tell the world out there what you did first, Luke?
Well, first and foremost, we lost Jesse.
Yes.
He's gone. He's
Forever.
no longer a human.
Yeah.
We still haven't found him. We actually still haven't found him. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where the lack of respect comes in. Like he doesn't respect himself as a person
Oh,
today,
no.
so he's not here.
Was he?
Boys weekend.
No,
did he have the hardest weekend out of all of you, or what?
No. I think we all, in different aspects, had our own toughness.
Yeah.
So for everybody out there who's not aware, we went to a bachelor party. Jesse and I went to a bachelor party for a friend of ours, Austin. It was awesome. You know, we'd been to the place that we had gone there before.
Yeah, for Ryan.
Same as Ryan's, yeah. And big spot, super fun. It
Hot
was
tub got you, didn't it?
oh god, yeah. Yeah.
Hot tub drinking
So-
dangerous, man.
Hot tub in a hurricane. Fucking cool. Just want to say that.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was unreal. It was super fun.
Friday
So,
night, right?
Yeah, so Friday night we got there, and as you always say, okay, we're gonna take it easy Friday because we're gonna go big on Saturday.
course.
Like, that's Saturday's the big day, so like we're gonna go big on Saturday. Friday always ends up being an absolute shit fest.
Oh, absolutely.
So we all got there and we all started drinking, and we're all just kind of like, you know, getting to know each other. Like we'd met some of Austin's friends before, but his dad was there, his uncle's there, some of his other friends were there, and we were just again kind of getting to know each other, getting into a few beers, and a couple of the guys had been in and out of the hot tub, and one of the other guys, Brett, goes like, "Man, it's raining now. I've been waiting for this. I'm getting in the hot tub." I was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Wouldn't that be the opposite of a good time? Like you want to be warm when you're in it or something?" He's like, "No, man. In the rain in a hot tub changes your life, man. You got to do it." I was like, "All right, fair enough." Like jump in. So like, you know, again, casual jumping
Yeah.
in hot tub with a bunch of dudes is not like gonna be your best time.
Right.
But then when you're in it for like an hour and then everybody else gets in, it ends up being quite a debacle. And as we all know, we had a hurricane passing over at that time, so
Tropical
it was just
storm, Luke.
pouring down rain. And like
So it was
everybody was
cool.
just, oh yeah, it was awesome. It was actually, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about it. Like the rain on the top with the warm.
I
and
know
the
what it
jets.
was. And this is the copious amounts of beer as well.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
And being in it for 2 to 3 hours probably.
So that was Friday.
You're
What
all
happened?
wrinkly and
Oh,
shit.
hey, that's not it.
Yeah.
That's not it on Friday.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, no. So,
So let's
the
go
whole-
with everyone's Friday first then.
Well, he's not done Friday yet.
But
That's what
yeah,
he's saying.
Oh
that's,
my God.
oh no, that wasn't it.
What a wonderful evening.
So we obviously are all a mess, and we're all like wrapping up and getting ready to go to bed. It's like 2:30 in the morning, and as per Jesse's message that you guys overheard, I'm now going to explain
Okay,
what
good.
the fire extinguisher was all about.
Yes, please.
So
Please.
we're all wrapping up to go to bed, and literally, I think we're all pretty much in bed at this point, or like pretty much there. And out of nowhere, you hear a,
No.
and then down, like Jesse and I were downstairs. There's only one bedroom downstairs, and there's a couple upstairs. And then I get like turn the corner, and Austin's younger brother picked up the fire extinguisher and shot it all over the house.
Just drunkenly for fun? Like,
Oh yeah, all over everything. I can still taste it.
How old?
I'm not joking.
How old
I can
is he?
still taste it.
How old
like-
is he?
He's 18, 19.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
younger guy, partying with the boys,
yeah.
hammered. had a great time. You know, he had a great time, but like, yeah, he littered it upstairs and then came down and shot it in Jesse and I's room. I don't know about upstairs because they cleaned everything up there, but like, it's still in my bag. It was all over my bag. It was all over our bed and stuff.
So what'd you do as punishment?
I don't know. Nothing. We were all just like, man, we were going to bed.
That's
like,
crazy.
come on.
Yeah, we're so old too. Like
Oh,
you said
yeah.
that he
Make
just
him
did
sleep
that just because,
outside.
not to put out a fire. I was immediately
He was pretty
immediately
upset.
agitated.
He was pretty upset, like that. Like he realized, he's like, "Oh man, I fucked up." So he was like, he had himself rattled. So I guess you
Yeah.
know his own self punishment was enough. But
So that was your
yeah,
Friday.
that I felt like I got
You
poisoned.
know, if something like that
It was
happened
awful.
in like university back like when we were like 18, 19, that wouldn't be the end of that that
No,
story.
no,
You know what I mean? Like,
no.
there'd be
Oh,
way
man.
worse punishment.
we're all 25 plus. Most of us 30 plus, and yeah, I was just like, man, I was trying to go to bed.
Well, you got one thing off the bucket list that I can proudly say: I've never tasted fire extinguisher.
Don't
You're not supposed to.
do it.
Yes,
Like I
not
can
meant to be
I can
eaten.
understand how it smothers fires because I could not breathe.
Yeah.
I
There's a
put
bunch of
the
warning
bed sheet
labels on
over
them.
me, and even then, like, you know, as you're flipping the bed sheet, just
That's crazy.
it was all over the place, man. It was crazy. It's foolishness. And that was just Friday.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Saturday ended up being a little bit more tame because everybody was like
Not breathing?
wrote off. Yeah.
Pretty hungover
Yeah.
the next day.
We golfed on Saturday and then went back to the place, and I'm an old man now. I had a nap. Like I was out for like an hour and a half, but that was a good rally.
No
Picked it
kidding.
back up after that.
There you
Still
go.
have a good nap.
Set up the fights at the place there. We had no Wi-Fi. Big place, super expensive, no Wi-Fi.
Right.
Don't know why. I'm gonna write a stern letter.
Strongly worded email.
Oh, absolutely. To whom it may concern.
Yeah.
But yeah, we hotspotted a phone, brought the computer and a TV, and made it happen. Streams worked out pretty well.
We'll get into the fights after.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
for sure.
that was disappointing.
Yeah.
Hey.
Another reason Jesse's not here.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess. Well, Dave, you and I kind of had the same Friday night because we were playing some games,
Yep.
kind of thing. So you know, we
weren't
were
together.
yeah,
But we were together.
we were playing some
Online,
games.
fam.
It was kind of like a cool, chill night. Like you know, like I know I worked and I was recovering from my second COVID shot that just knocked me off my feet. Just
Oh yeah.
just hit me like a truck right about like 4 a.m. And I went to
100%,
work
man.
after, and then I came back, and then yeah, and then that night I was like, all right, well, I'm feeling a bit better, and jump on, play some games with the boys and stuff like that, and everyone was playing a bit of League. And for anybody who doesn't know this, like Dave's a way bigger League player than I am.
League of Legends is what he's getting at.
Yes.
League of Legends. But I jump in every
LOL.
now and then for strategy. You know, for their strategy, it's I'm a lower rank, so I bring in shittier players. In my head, I'm really good.
Drake is better than you.
Two
expect
ends
a
of the
new-
spectrum. Like
Yeah, he's definitely better than your average newbie, though. He's played games similar to it before.
Yeah.
too, right?
Yeah,
So-
yeah. So like that'll be the same thing when like Pokemon Unite comes out. Like we kind of already understand the process of it. Anyways, so yeah, we're playing that. Everything's like good, and then like, you know, I saw a picture from Dave earlier in the day where he bought a case of Huge on Hops, which is for anybody who's not from Fredericton. It's a local craft beer that's like 6.6% alcohol. It's a heavier
cans.
beer, tall cans,
I bought a 2 for them.
and they're smooth.
and so
They
through.
go
down
down
quick.
They go down well.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, and then you get in trouble after. And so
Oh yeah, that'll rock you.
and so we were.
I had 6.
yeah.
I had 6. Now, don't get me wrong. I ate at like 3 o'clock, and that was like the last thing I ate. I completely just skipped through supper. I was just like, I'm not working tomorrow. I'm gonna be able to relax, jump on the computer with the boys, have a couple beer, have a good chill Friday. Sheena's gone for ball at Woodstock for the weekend for a girls softball tournament. I'm just gonna hang out with the dogs. Nice and relaxing night. I was out by 11.
Daddy Dave mode.
I was. I blacked out.
Yeah, he blacked out. So the story of this is that I got to watch.
6 beer.
Yeah.
Killed me.
Well, they're 6 tall cans too, and then they were a heavier beer, man, and you didn't eat.
Yeah, it was,
But,
it was
like,
a perfect storm.
we have seen how Hugh Jones have hit you before, so
Yeah, and the thing with it is that Dave.
Please do something with that.
Oh man.
Just put like a oh, you wasn't on the camera there. Okay,
Yeah. So Dave, the funny thing was that I'm hearing him get drunk. you know, like, which is the funny part. And so Dave's like going, and you can hear him cracking more, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm having another one, and then we're playing the game, and Dave's really awesome to play a new game with, obviously if he's sober. Joking, but he's very like he's like teaching, he's encouraging and things like that. So I gotta watch Dave go from like that to like just blackout in like the
meme too.
In the matter of like 30 minutes, like it all hit him at the same time.
Just smacked me, and my body was like, "Buddy, it's time for sleep."
Oh man! So he's sitting
the
there.
door hit you on the way out, like.
Yeah. So he's sitting there, and we're playing, and you're just like, "Oh yeah," they're like, "Oh man, like these guys are actually pretty good." And their team was like a pretty good build and everything like that. But he's like, "Oh man, I just can't get him." He's getting a little more frustrated. Oh man, to guys, what are you doing? Guys, will somebody do something? I am carrying the team and just doing this. And oh my God, you suck. Like, why do you even play this game? This is really dumb. And then the words start slurring and everything like that.
Rage machine. I'm a rage machine.
Why'd you flash? About this and that? And then all of a sudden, just silence.
Silence. Off the bed.
Just nothing happening.
Off to bed. It must have been 10:30, 10:45 maybe.
Maybe. Didn't even say bye. Just Discord, it goes on. All you hear on Discord is stuff, bloom. And then you just see him gone.
And I definitely just turned off my computer too, because I went down on Saturday morning. I usually like just put my computer to sleep. But it was off. Like, so I was obviously just and turned it off, and I was off to bed.
Went from nice Dave having a good weekend to Jabba the Hutt.
Oh. I'm surprised he didn't wake up in the same chair.
Yeah.
I woke up,
just slumped back in his
I was
gaming
up
chair.
8 a.m. Good to go, man. Feeling nice, ready to rock.
Yeah, because you went to bed at 10:30.
I know. And I went down like
slept through the
I was
hangover.
like, I didn't really remember going to bed. I still don't remember going to sleep, because of the huge ones. And I like went down expecting like do a cleanup of like 10 to 12 beer. I had 6, man. I was like, what happened? Like it Mike Tyson me, man. It just punched me in the face. It was
the
awesome.
worst thing too is that, like with craft beer and that, like when you drink that much and like you get like fucked on it, like you taste, like the taste is with you the entire time. You know what I mean? And it's not the dehydration of just having a lot of beer. It's dehydrated, but like whatever's left in your mouth
with
is
a punch.
Is huge on, right? Like it's just like, oh, I don't want to drink these ever again. And I can just imagine being that hungover and then looking to the left and there's just like 20 more in that case that you bought. Just being like, I don't want to have these.
I did
My
not
mini fridge
succeed.
was full.
Like,
I'd be giving away to charity at that point.
You know what? Saturday was a great chill day for me too. I spent some time outside with the dogs. Did some stuff around the house, just relaxed. Chad and I we arced hard, man. We played arc for hours and it was awesome. And then
you were
I
alive
want you to
for
know,
that
like
one.
you've asked me to come play, and it's not that I don't like Arc, which is why I haven't come back to play. It's because I'm scared. Because if I jump into Arc again, there's gonna be another 315 hours coming up. I went into Steam. In Steam, you can see your playing hours on it, and we were sitting there talking. And Arc, like we've had for a couple years maybe, but I've had games on Steam for a lot longer. Arc is my number one fucking hour. We put hours into it. Our girlfriends would make time around us playing Arc. Like they'd be like, okay, and like him and I would be like, Dave's like, oh, I got date night tonight, and then he would message me being like, you should tell like Jill that she should want to play games with Sheena, and like, so we can play Arc, so we can get the two of them doing something. All right, guys, we're fuck off doing this.
So you're scared.
Look at the
You're yelling.
Can't afford to use all that time now. Like,
I know.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I got some nice hard arcing in this weekend. It was really nice, and it was like usually when it comes to League of Legends, like Chad and I will play, and usually if we're playing League of Legends, there's drinking involved because it's just what you do on the weekend with it, and he gets just as bad as I do when it comes to like raging and stuff, right? So it was nice to be on we're like a nice chill, relaxed, like cooperative game day with Chad instead of being like, man, what the hell are you doing? Why are you going in already? Like why don't we wait for the team? Something like that, right? So it was really nice to be doing that. And then Saturday I was wondering, should I have some huge ons tonight? Like I don't really know if I need to. And then I was like, yeah, I'll have a couple. Yeah. So I was on Discord with you for the fights.
Right. Yeah. Sorry, I was a bit drunk at that point.
Yeah, you had been on a boat and.
No, I was on the boat at that point. I was just drinking. It was my friend's birthday.
You didn't go on the boat on Saturday?
No, but I'm on the boat today. We were for a little bit because we boated down. Well, they boated down. I drove down, parked my car at the spot, and then
I'm sorry, I'm gonna cut you off. I don't want to hear this. New friends? No, no thanks.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, none of your
no
new
thanks.
friends crap.
Yeah,
No, you're not allowed to
you
do
guys
that.
have to also understand that Luke's like a jealous girlfriend. So if you hang out with
Jealous
anybody,
ex-girlfriend.
yeah,
Now,
ex.
now,
we over.
new friends. You ain't coming in here telling me that I'm jealous when you're the one who's doing new friends. I'm the ex. We done.
Oh my god. Anyways, these are friends I
As much
played
sass as I
basketball with
could
in
bring.
university with and everything. And anyways, so we went. It was my friend's birthday and told me to go. So I worked in the morning and I got back. I did some editing for Hollow Hunters. Check it out.
Shameless
plug. Shameless plug. And then we were down at the Dip there. So the Dip's just a restaurant that's here. That's with a pool and outside. It was such a beautiful fucking day. Wore my flowery shirt. I was feeling good. Shorts that were a little short actually. And
Mr. European.
and,
Sha.
yeah, so we had a few beers and then we boated back over and then went over to their place and had a few beers and drank a whole bunch, played long games, and then I came back and I was pretty buzzed and then I was like, oh man, the fights are on. I jumped on Discord and all the boys are on and we're all just sitting there chatting. I played like one round of one game and I was like, fuck this. I
Kudos
don't
to
have
Ryan.
the attention span to do this
Streaming.
right now. So we were streaming it and then watched on Discord with everybody and then that shitty thing happened, which we'll talk about later on.
But the thing was,
Not
let's
later
jump
on.
into it.
Now. Because
So
it
we do
also,
now?
it also segues into a great reason as to tell a story why Jesse's not here. So like we were saying, Saturday we weren't too crazy, but the fights were on, so we were trying to find the way to stream it. And I mean, the card was really good.
It was.
They've been hyping up the card for the trilogy fight with Mcgregor and Poirier. I mean, even the first main card with Sean O'Malley, one of the big up and comers. That guy
was just
he was fighting, man.
shots, man.
Well, he was a stand-in too, right?
Yeah.
The guy that O'Malley was supposed to fight couldn't fight, ended up out. So this Mutino was a step in, and like he's fairly new to UFC as well.
He's gonna be good.
That guy, is he Nate Diaz?
That's what I'm saying.
Like he's a zombie, man. He just kept walking through everything. I don't know why he even bothered having his hands up because everything went through. Everything went through.
Punch, man.
He set a record.
It was like 85%.
O'Malley set a record for first round strikes and overall strikes. 318 strikes thrown, and he connected with 290 something.
Yeah, he was like 80% or something.
Yeah, man. Like almost 300 connected strikes. And they didn't do how they normally would, where they would show like strikes to the head, strikes to the body, strikes to the. It had to be 250 up to the head, man. That guy got pounded. It was
the
insane.
crazy way it ended crazily too, because they were just squaring off, and Buddy kept walking into the punches, and I was like, "We gotta stop. This is done."
Herb Dean's looking at this guy like he might die. Like I gotta stop this. Like, and there was only 30 seconds left in the fight.
I know,
Like 2.5 rounds. No, not 2.5 rounds. 2 rounds, almost 3 full rounds. And Herb's like, okay, buddy. Like, if you don't already have CTE, I gotta stop you before you get full on brain damage. Like,
Hence, at the start of every single fight, when they put the mic up, they say, "Protect yourself at all times." Right? Obey my commands at all times. When you're not doing any of them, it's like, "Hey, the fight's over." Like, it's
yeah,
That was one of the better fights.
he only got dropped once at the end of that first round.
Yep.
He got wobbled in the last 10 seconds. Other than that, I mean, I don't know that he even knew his name. But he was still up. He was standing. He was moving forward. So I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like at the end of it, like O'Malley was like relieved. Like,
oh, he was gassed. Like you could like the amount of strikes he was throwing. Man, oh my god.
I mean, it was
crazy.
clearly his fight too. Like he obviously
yeah.
won like by
Yeah.
decision, but I'm sure he
And,
was
like,
just like, "Oh, thank God he stopped." This. I'm gonna
I love
kill this
Sean
guy."
O'Malley too, but like I can imagine him being massively discouraged during that fight. Like, what do I gotta do to put this guy on the canvas? Like, this is insane.
The other guy was Homer Simpson.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah. Just gets hit so often and so much, and the other guy
Doesn't
gets too
affect him.
tired and just dies. Yeah, he's gonna be the next Nate Diaz, man.
I guess so. Frig, I guess we'll find out.
And we had the two ladies fight. That was a pretty
Yep,
good battle.
four and
She had a
5 in the
giant
division.
Gash in her head, eh?
Yeah, that was bad.
I
But
see. I
the
didn't.
Russian-
I
she
didn't
was
catch
Russian,
key in this
yeah.
point because I was over at my friend's.
Your new friends,
birthday.
yeah, we get it, yeah.
But I grabbed my phone one point and got a thing and be like big gash in the fight, and I looked at it and it was like a still of it. I was like, oh my fuck. Where'd the skin go? It was like,
Yeah.
come on. It looked like she got
She
bit.
dominated.
Folded
It was
it
like-
in like, ugh, I don't
She
know.
dominated,
It was weird.
Oh, it was
The
brutal.
Russian or the Mexican lady?
Yeah, the one that had the gash.
Well, oh yes, yeah. Because it was Arine, like it felt like Arine,
Yeah.
but with the
accent on the
Spanish
end,
way
yeah.
that they send it, I guess. But yeah, that was a good fight too. That was a really good fight.
Yeah.
The Burns and Wonder Boy Thompson. That was a good fight too. It was a good fight. It was very technical, but that's what you'd expect of those guys.
That's what Burns does.
Yeah, the Rhino just charges you, gets you up against the cage. Thompson knows how to defend well, so it was just it was a technical match.
Yeah, they were definitely like the first 2 minutes of the first round was really nothing happening. They were just
feeling each other out. Yeah, I don't even know if there was a strike thrown in the first minute. Like they were both bouncing at each other back and forth, just kind of waiting it out to see it.
Wonder Boy had a crazy like stance.
Yeah, he always does.
It's like
He fights with his hands down.
Yeah, it's like kickboxing stance.
And he would constantly rotate his hips too.
Yeah.
Like he was putting left foot and right foot forward.
Which is my thing
yeah.
with fucking Conor, man. Like, look, I guess we'll just jump right to kind of Conor there, but like the past, like you've seen it, like Conor does fight with his hands down. He doesn't have his hands up. And like if you look at Poirier, he has his hands up. He has his right shoulder forward for any kind of like crosses coming here. It's gonna bounce off his shoulder first, and his other hand's up the entire time. Conor's like down here, so he just eats punches sometimes. If he's facing a guy who can actually strike and like waits him out for a little bit, so he gets over the whole horny Conor start kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest, like I felt that Poirier was dominating Conor before his leg snapped.
It was
and
his fight too.
Oh, he won the first round for sure. Like if he had been able to continue, then Poirier would have won the first round. You never know. Like again, this is the thing that I was trying to talk Jesse off the ledge on. Like Jesse was like not drunk, but again to the point of like had been drinking and stuff, and like all the boys were egging him on all weekend, saying if Conor loses, you're gonna smash that TV. Like,
oh my god!
We didn't bring like the good TV or anything. We brought one out from the garage, like it's an old one from like Spencer's parents or whatever. And I was like, man, it's $100. Like if you smash it, you owe me $100. Like that's what it is.
Gave him a number.
I did. I gave him a number. I gave him a number and said, "This is what you got to do. If this is what you're gonna do,
I'm sure he lost more than that on his bet."
Oh, and he didn't care. Like he was like, yeah. Oh, hey. If Conor loses, I'm smashing that fucking TV. And so he was all revved up, and so
what?
Oh yeah. He was revved up, and the boys were amping him the whole weekend. And like a couple of the guys wanted to go to bed, but they're like, I gotta stay up for this fight.
I gotta see the TV.
Oh yeah, gotta see how this works.
So he
out.
smashed the TV.
No. So again, he was like he didn't know how to take it because again, both Jesse and I have like really liked Conor for the longest time, supported him for the longest time. Watch all his fights, drink his whiskey, like all that kind of stuff. So like Jesse was like, I'm done with him. Like he's now again, how he actually feels, how he feels now. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm pretty sure he still feels the same way. He's just done with him because,
is Conor done though? I think Conor should be done, right?
No, Conor's definitely not done because that's not the way that fight needed to end. So he's a cash cow. He's a cash cow for the UFC. So they'll as much as they possibly can, they're going to leverage him to fight as much as they can. He doesn't need it, obviously. Like he made like triple-digit millions from his proper whiskey sale. He sold the business and opened a restaurant. And I mean, he does a bunch of other stuff. He has Mcgregor Fast, which is like this training and everything camp, and he's part owner of his brother's clothing line. Like there's a whole ton of stuff. The guy's rigged for money. He doesn't need to do it.
He's probably okay.
Which is the reason that like myself and Jesse were like rattled going into this fight or watching this fight because that first round, like you thought that he's coming back to do this trilogy fight. Why is he coming back? He doesn't need to be fighting. He doesn't need the money. He needs to get his name back. And so he goes in there and he's doing some of the leg kicks and, he got him in a guillotine and almost, looked like he might pull it out. But then he just got dummied. Like he just got outworked. Poirier's the better fighter, obviously. We can see that Poirier's the better fighter, but you don't know what would have happened in that fight because of the outcome. The injury TKO, like what could have happened in the second round? Like could McGregor have outlasted Poirier? Would Poirier have gotten tired? Like
people say the same thing about any fight that also ends in a knockout, right? Being like anybody could have been dominating a whole fight, doing this, doing that, and then they get knocked out. Be like, man, well, if they would have lasted around, they would have won the fight. Yeah, it's the same way, right? Like
an actual knockout and an injury TKO is very different. Like,
for sure,
his fucking tibia. Like,
no,
his ankle, wasn't it?
No, it's tibia.
Oh, really?
But
that's the alerts came up. He had surgery today.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it didn't look great.
Oh, hurt.
He did like a champ though.
Well, in the moment, the adrenaline.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's such a fucking fucking dank though, man.
Oh yeah, those
telling him his mom's DMing him and stuff.
yeah.
Like what if
Those comments at the end were definitely not necessary.
No.
Man, the part that like irked me is like, man, you really should have shut up. Like from at the beginning of before the fight, you said Poirier is gonna be a dead body. He's gonna need to go out on a stretcher. He went out on a stretcher. Like, shut the fuck up, man. Come on.
It was definitely a very disappointing end to the hype train that was.
Yeah.
I like Poirier just because he absolutely dummied Hot Wings on Hot Ones, man. Like he crushed him. Like he didn't not phased. He's a New Orleans boy, man. He grew up on jambalaya.
No, Louisiana.
Louisiana, yeah.
But I'm gonna be honest, man. Like
New Orleans.
the past like bit though with Conor, past couple of fights, like just haven't been.
He's lost now. I think it's either 3 out of 4 or 4 out of 5, maybe something like that. Like he beat Cowboy, he lost Poirier now twice.
So
there's a couple other ones in there, but.
So, do you guys think that at this point now, you're Dana White? Is this the last chance necessarily you give Conor for the big ticket fights?
So, okay, I'll stop there. I'll speak for Jesse for a second as he's not here because we talked about this all weekend, obviously. So Jesse was saying like for McGregor to be able to like move back up at all, like to be able to really get his name back, he had to beat Poirier. He'd have to get the title and he'd have to defend the title for people to be like, okay, Conor's back. Like he has a ladder to climb. And so now that he lost Poirier, he's going to be out for recovery for quite a while from surgery and stuff. Poirier is already number 1, just beat Conor at number 5 in the division. Poirier probably is going to be fighting for the belt. If Poirier fights for the belt and wins, Conor doesn't get a rematch. No, you can't see it. No, you can't see that happening. But if Poirier fights for the belt and loses, then again, if Poirier is a smart guy, that's a big money fight. I'll take it again.
But even then, like Conor's like whatever the 3 to 4, 4 to 5, whatever it is. Like if I'm Dana, being like, if you even look from a marketing perspective, I think a lot of people are probably on the same page and seeing him being like Conor, like even at the point from before, like we all said here, before he snapped his leg, he was not looking that fantastic, like in terms of it. So like if I'm Dana White, I'm saying like from a marketing perspective, no matter what, we're getting a break from Conor for a while because he's going to be injured.
He's out for a while.
But when he comes in, you need to give him a lower ranked fight.
Well, the other thing
give him something he can win.
The other thing that we were talking about was the next big thing, and again, it's a big money fight, but it should be something that is at least like entertaining with a good chance that Conor could win. I don't see him fighting at 155 anymore. He's going to fight Diaz on the trilogy.
No, I don't even say give him a big ticket fight. Like I don't honestly.
No, it's going to be a big money fight. Like it's not like he's not getting a big ticket fighter in Diaz. Like
sorry,
Diaz isn't a big ticket fighter anymore. But that would be they've got to do that trilogy. And again, it'd be a good story that they can spin. It'd be money that people will buy into. And if Conor loses that, man, he's got to retire.
I mean, I think Dana's the. I think not Dana. Sorry, I think Nate Diaz is probably the only fight. Because Nate's obviously not a high-ranked figh're technically right now. That would work, right? Because if it's not Nate Diaz and like I think if I'm Dana being like, hey, Conor, like we're putting these big money fights for you, and this is the way it's gone. If it wasn't Conor McGregor, and somebody lost 4 to 5 fights, they would not have the amount of opportunities that he's had.
Oh, no.
Right? So I think
his
that
name is
you have to be like, look, Conor,
chances,
if you want these big money fights again, you have to earn it back.
Oh, yeah.
So you need to go and fight a big up-and-comer.
And that's exactly like they've already kind of done that. And that's what the win that he had against Cowboy Cerrone. Like, Cowboy Cerrone was on his way out, too. Like, he was pretty close to retiring by that point. That was a stepping stone fight for him. Like,
I think it needs to be a young up-and-comer. A young up-and-comer who's moving the way up the ranks.
Who's going to have a chance to fight McGregor. So that's a big sell for them. But if Conor can beat them back down,
then it's a respectable. This guy's young, so it's like nothing like that. There's no excuses. This guy's moving way up, tearing through the league or through the ranks or whatever. But then if the guy beats Conor, then it's like okay, like Conor, man, like you should probably hang up the gloves. Like
for me, like again from a fan standpoint, I hate to see him ruin his legacy. Like Anderson Silva did it too. Like he fought way too long. Lost too many fights, and then it just kind of like it was like, okay, buddy, like you got to get out of here now. Like, I don't want to see Conor get to that point. I think there's probably only 2 or 3 fights left unless he wins.
Dana had to tell fucking Anderson to not fight anymore. Kind of thing. Like,
pretty well. Had to pretty much say Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Speaking of thank you for your time, the Habs didn't do it.
You and your bad segues.
Yes. I had to get a word in. You guys just
I'm
kept
so
going and going.
sorry.
Oh yeah, man.
I'm so sorry, everybody. Like, what the?
No,
Thank you
the,
for your
the
time.
Tampa Bay Lightning are Stanley Cup champions again.
Back-to-back champs.
Back to back. Wherever Tom Brady goes, that city wins championships.
Crazy, right?
I hate that stat.
Even the MLB, like the
Oh,
Tampa
yeah.
Bay went to the finals. They didn't win, but they went to the finals.
It's craziness.
Wow.
Ugh.
Yeah, man. You know what? I don't think there's one person who watched those playoffs that wouldn't say, "Man, well done, Habs." Like,
Oh yeah.
I'm a Leaf fan through and through. I'm probably actually honestly happy the Tampa Bay won just out of spite. but the reality is, yeah, I mean, watching that team, man, they were so impressive.
Yeah.
I don't know
was
if
fun.
I don't know if they ran out of gas or if Tampa Bay was just like the fire extinguisher that smothered me. I don't know, but they had a good time. Like Tampa Bay just kind of ran through it.
I'm excited for next year.
At least the Canadians won one game.
Yeah.
You know,
They didn't get swept, which is nice. But yeah, Tampa Bay is a really, really good team. I mean, obviously
Yeah.
they're back to back. Like they're kind of cheaters, but that's okay. But here we are.
the old cap acceptance.
Yeah, the old cap acceptance. But no, congratulations to anyone that's a Lightning fan. It was really sweet to watch the Habs like every other night play really good hockey.
Yeah.
The future looks
There wasn't any game that they were like dominated.
good. Right.
Like at least every game was competitive.
Yeah.
They
Game one.
they got outplayed, but like
Yeah.
you know, even in that last game, it was 1-0.
Yeah.
It's a tight game.
Yeah, but double the shots, man. It's just brutal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Carey, man. He's got to win a cup.
This was a shot.
I don't know. Like that's going to be the other thing that kind of this whole like the Canadian side of things. Like what's going to happen with their goaltending, man? Like they they can't keep Jake and Carey, man. They can't have both.
Sure, you can.
I don't know.
Look at how young and
Yeah,
pretty
but
and
you're gonna
very
have to pay
inexpensive
them.
those guys are as of right now. So if a few years we're still okay. But I mean that goaltending combination is there a if Carey Price broke his leg, if he pulled a Conor McGregor,
Mhm. Oh, that's the best stand-in. for
is
sure.
there a better goalie that would be able to jump in behind?
I
Maybe
again,
Maybe Halak.
but like bias, Jack Campbell did it. Like he stepped
Yeah.
in for Freddie Anderson and went on like a 12-game win streak.
Yeah,
Like Jack
that was
Campbell
good.
like literally stole a playoff position.
Yeah.
So I mean like there's a few, not many.
Yeah.
There'd be a handful at best of backup goaltenders that you'd be like, that's not just a serviceable guy.
Right.
That's a guy who can lead a team.
Yeah, I mean,
Allen. I think Jake Allen might go in Seattle.
he
He could go in the expansion
I
draft.
thought Carey might.
I've
go
heard
to
that.
Seattle.
I've heard that more.
It's too
Than,
expensive.
I've heard that more like a few times. But
Yeah.
everyone thinks that Jake Allen will be the goaltender. That's
like
that's drafted.
it starts from the conversation about like, well, what about Carey Price? That's what everybody's conversation starts off is what about Carey Price? But I don't think Seattle can afford that money. That's way too much to be taken on in an expansion draft just to start.
And
the
why
team.
would you though? Like in all honesty, like how many years does Carey Price have left? Do you think?
I don't know, man.
5.
Probably.
Like you
The
think?
the way he's been playing, Freg.
But like,
Hard to say no.
Apparently, all he needed
Jake's
was bigger
what?
pads.
like
Like
Jake's,
Vasilevsky, man.
Oh yeah, they
Jake's
were like
what?
identical
Jake's
height
old?
and weight.
Oh, he's
No, Jake's
mid 20s.
30.
Is he
Yeah,
30s?
like you,
Thir-
but like,
thir- turning 31.
but like,
Oh, he's our
birthday's-
age.
His birthday is 12 days before mine.
but you can
Look at him now. Stop with the eye thing, man. That's crazy.
but you can
You're
afford
pissing
to.
me off with that.
Jesus. You can afford to have somebody maybe like a bit young that you can maybe potentially keep there for a bit longer than that. And honestly,
Yeah, okay.
does it?
People would have said that about Marc-Andre
they
Fleury
can
when
also
he went to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And he still crushed it this year.
Absolutely.
Wasn't he MVP?
Not quite.
But
He didn't win the
um,
Vezina, but he was up there. He would have
yeah.
been in contention.
But Montreal can protect Carey though, can't they? Like every team gets to
They won't,
protect, and
though.
you don't think they will?
No,
Yeah,
you
they'd
you
be
protect
pretty-
one of your young
They'd be
studs.
pretty relieved if they took him.
But do you do it
yes
out
and
of
no.
the-
Yes and no.
Yeah.
Do you do it out of the love for the fact that he is like
No.
for his time at
They wouldn't protect
Montreal?
him. No.
No, they're not going to protect him because they know,
Business-wise, it makes no sense.
they know that they probably won't take him because of his cap hit, and if they do, well, we just made a ton of money.
They can't take rookies, right?
No, can't
So
take
You
rookies.
don't have to say it's like save that on Cole and
No,
what's the? Do you know the like? Would you be able to explain the rule?
no,
not fully.
no,
okay.
I don't know it well enough.
I would
haven't
hate to
looked
see
at it
guys like
recently.
like someone like Suzuki or Anderson or someone just get sniped.
But those guys, they definitely could.
Yeah.
Like Suzuki's been around long enough.
He's in his 4th year.
Yeah. So like you want to use your saves probably on a couple of those guys.
The big thing in expansion drafts though is that like especially when you think about your
They're fucking
favorite
awesome.
team and how and how
I've always been a Seattle fan.
but how you get scared like during your expansion draft, like, oh, they could take this guy, they could take this guy, this guy. In the end, they can't take all of them really, because there's also a bunch of other teams with very good guys that they can start to pull from. So they're not going to take all your guys. They're going to take one maybe, but
it's kind of crazy if you were to think about it from a GM standpoint. If you're looking at what the other teams are making available, like who's being protected and who's being like, hey, this guy is available. Like the Penguins did that with Marc-Andre Fleury, because they knew that the time had come that they have another goaltender that is definitely like vying for the start. Yeah. They're like, okay, Marc-Andre Fleury is going to be available.
Is it Miller?
No, it was anyway.
Matt Miller?
for what?
Matt. No, it's not Miller. It's Matt.
Matt
Murray.
Matt
Murray.
I was thinking Ryan Miller.
Yeah, sorry. But yeah, like they made him available. Like, so when you see other teams making different players available, you're like, okay, if they take this guy, it's this position that's
really
locked
cool
in.
concept.
So then, like you're thinking like of like a whole different like 3D level chess.
Oh
Like,
yeah, and
there's so many
teams-
different aspects that you can look into to try and find out who's going to leave from your team. Like,
Yeah, and teams they're going to do probably like a lot of different things. Like they're going to protect the guys who are already in contract that you don't want to lose, and then for guys that you do want to keep, you're going to pay them now rather than try and do some weird thing and pay them later, pay them a little bit now or do whatever. You're going to try and pay them now. So they don't want to pick up that contract. If they do, well, then you've got the room. Sorry, like, we protected this. We wanted to give you the contract you wanted to, but you were
It really
picked.
is an
So
awesome concept, and I think it's beneficial for all the teams.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I remember being very excited for the Las Vegas expansion, and I'm very excited for Seattle.
Yeah, I've always
Like,
been a
it's
Seattle
going to
fan.
be pretty cool.
Stop.
The first
I've been a
ever
Seattle fan,
signed
Drake.
Stop it.
the first ever signed Seattle Kraken player is from Cole Harbour. Another Cole Harbour boy. Young guy, plays in the juniors and stuff, but that was the first ever signing that they had. It was the same as like Las Vegas. One of their first signups was like a young guy, like just a guy to like say that they had a first kind of thing. But yeah, random stat.
But Luke, to go back to you mentioned this comment when you were talking about the finals there, where you're like just out of pure spite.
Yeah,
I want.
Yeah,
you know,
I
I
hope they take Marner,
wanted
you
I
punk.
wanted them to win. It's
I
the
hope
same
Seattle
thing,
takes Marner.
but that's the same thing.
I'm okay with
thing I'm feeling right now with Milwaukee.
Oh yeah,
I want Milwaukee to lose.
yeah.
I want them to lose so bad.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, let's
Same
go.
thing.
Like
Sons of War.
Yeah,
man.
that's what, Sons and 4. And by the way, that's how you do a transition bit. No,
My segues are way better because they're so brutal and fun.
but no, yeah, like that.
His
that
transition,
Suns
by the way,
team-
his transition was, hey, I just want to go back to what you had mentioned a second ago.
He
Well, it was
talked his way into it instead of saying a random comment.
Yeah, that's not a segue. That's a backtrack.
By the way, basketball. No,
yeah. Speaking of the thing on your hat, like, that's what I would've done.
So what is it with the
that is
hoops
what you
these
would have
days?
done.
Yeah, Suns are.
The Suns are a
good.
good team. They are.
I like
Losing
the Suns.
Craig. Losing Craig's gonna be tough. It just takes away a little bit of depth there. But they are a nice complete team. Like when you guys know that technically I don't like to be like a stats guy specifically, just especially like especially
Drake.
That sentence coming out of your mouth is a lie.
That's the only way I know you.
Yeah.
what are you, a stats guy.
You research everything. What do you mean?
Well, yeah, but like when it comes to
You're analytical as hell.
when it comes to basketball, it's not as much as that. Like because when it's the sport that you've played, you know that there's more to the game, especially more than like if I talk to hockey as much, like I can't because I never really played hockey. So with basketball though, like for this, I went straight to the stats when I was looking at it though, and I was like, yeah, that tells a huge story when almost the entire starting lineup pretty much had 20 points. Like
In that last
at
game.
least.
Yeah.
In that last game, like they fucking were just a complete team. And then
like Crowder and oh my god, DeAndre Ayton were the only guys who didn't have 20 points. They both put up double doubles, 10 and 11, 11 and 10.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And like the awesome thing was there was the one thing that they brought up after where DeAndre Ayton had like 1 point, and then Monty Williams gave him that chat talk, and then after that talk, he had 11 points,
Mhm.
and then like to finish the game in like whatever rebounds he had there. Like it was kind of cool to see that, but like it was just showing that is like a full team. In Milwaukee, man, like
Giannis on a bum knee, 42 points and 12
but
rebounds.
that's the thing, man. Like,
and then nobody else showed up.
but that's the thing, and I find that like, okay, Giannis is gonna put up the points no matter what. So I don't find that necessarily that means that they win games because of him, because
Obviously.
the team, right? Like when they played the Heat, I told everybody, I said Giannis was not the reason they beat the Heat. It was fucking Middleton.
Absolutely.
It was like that guy is, in my opinion, like
You guys
I find
know
him
it's
more
Giannis,
important.
right?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
but like
It's just
Middleton, I
blowing
find
my
it's
mind up.
almost in a way more important. I find than Giannis.
Yeah,
is.
he's the shadow that goes unnoticed, but he's
But
the guy that
kills
wins
you.
games.
But kills you. He
Yeah.
wins games. He
Oh, yeah.
hits the game-winning shots. He does that. He can shoot free throws in under 10 seconds. And like,
in general.
but he can just do so. Like sure, Giannis. Sorry, I don't know why I keep saying Giannis, but like Giannis like can drive down the court and probably score in most situations when he can't. But like you also see him get frustrated. You also see teams pick up on that.
Let
Like
me ask you this.
when Bam was guarding him, like Bam could shut down Giannis for a lot of the game because he could just play him well. And
What super team is he going to go to when they can't win?
he didn't. He
when
just
they
he
He's
can't
signed
not
his,
Kevin Durant.
He signed his contract. He signed his max deal
Contract
contract. He's
first
there.
year.
He-
Drake.
he's there for a little bit. But man, I'm impressed with Chris Paul, man. Like
Yeah, man. He's point guard. I don't know. Like it's crazy to see that team because again, obviously Chris Paul's fantastic. Devin Booker's fantastic. Like they're a really well-rounded team. But like Crowder's out there killing it. DeAndre Ayton finally is it seems like he's really making a name for himself. He's obviously been good, but he's been out with injury and for a couple seasons and stuff too.
he hasn't got a
Like
chance to show.
yeah, it's really good to see
shine.
him like shine. Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like their team is just more well-rounded. They have a lot of good bench depth that's been helping them out too.
Mhm.
And then again, like when Middleton doesn't excel, that team just falls flat.
Yep.
That's what a championship team is, though. You need a team. You need your
Supporting
seconds
cast.
and thirds to really jump up and step
yeah.
up, and that's how you win a
The
championship.
depth has to be there.
Yeah,
For sure.
100%.
Yeah.
I want the Suns to win just because of the fantasy footballers.
Yeah, the boys in Phoenix.
That's it.
But
I'm huge on it.
that's such a big thing with a lot of them, right? Like you can have your best player sit there and do 41 points or whatever, but you have to get the other guys going. It's the same thing with Harden a lot of the time, man. Like when he was in Houston, that sure, go ahead, score 62 points, but if no one else is scoring, and I'm going to be honest with you, just because he's scoring 62 points doesn't mean like he's playing great and everyone else is playing terrible. A lot of times, guys who are scoring that much are also hogging the ball, which are slowing down the offense, which is taking away any rhythm of the game. And anybody who knows basketball is a game of rhythm. It is like
he fits in way better on the Nets because he knows he doesn't need to do it all.
exactly.
He got so ball hoggy and that kind of thing in Houston because he just felt like he didn't have the supporting cast, so he did it himself and got greedy.
Yeah.
But he knows in Brooklyn that he's got the opportunity to pass the ball and somebody else will score.
Yeah, and so
he'll have triple doubles and only have 13 points.
yeah,
Speaking of pass the ball,
but
Oh my
no.
god!
just kidding.
But like, so teams, like if you rely too much on your star player, then your offense gets stagnant, which means that it's easy to shut down. Which means I'd being like, look, okay, if this is how it's going to work, and you guys aren't going to move the ball, you guys aren't going to do that, you're going to let it go to Giannis or do whatever. Then you're just basically saying, Giannis, you have to score 118 points to beat us.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because that's it. Like you guys aren't moving, but you're not challenging the defense to rotate, to make mistakes, or do anything like that, right? Yeah. So they're focusing so much on him that it's costing them games, in my opinion.
I'm interested to see how the game tonight's gonna go. Like if Milwaukee can bounce back, because like
they're in Milwaukee.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like getting back at home and I don't know. I don't think the Suns will do it in 4. I would love it for the story, just based on how all the news has gone around that. But I don't think that they'll take it in 4. But I do. I mean, the Suns have the advantage. Obviously, they're up 2-0. So
yeah,
if they're serious to lose,
it'd be good just to see them succeed after just not
yeah,
being
man.
able to succeed.
I just want it
right?
for Chris Paul.
Yeah.
Speaking
Devin
of
Booker too,
succeeding-
man. That guy's been hustling.
Speaking of succeeding,
what?
the new Switch.
Yeah, how it's not.
God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. So
I want to just like take a director's cut here and like have a whole big brain on the side. Like, Dave, what are you doing? You're ruining this for me.
Can the episodes? Today's episode obviously has to be called "Boys Weekend."
By the way,
NHL expansion and
Dave's
terrible
bad jokes.
segues.
But
New Switch dropped.
Okay.
It's not out yet, but
Ish.
it's released.
So new Switch dropped. For anybody who doesn't know, it is a Nintendo Switch, just like it was before. No hardware.
OLED.
No chip upgrade. I mean, there's a bit of internal storage, which is nice,
That is nice.
but no speed upgrades, no 4K, no
but
nothing like that.
But
you-
super tilty
You have
mode
a,
now.
You have a bigger screen, some improved standing audio, and it's an OLED screen, which should make it better
And
outside.
in white,
and-
it looks really nice.
yeah,
I do like the
So-
dock.
Yes.
The dock looks nice.
yeah. I'm gonna defer to you guys first over the general thoughts.
Yeah, because we want to keep this podcast rolling.
Yeah. So I'm gonna let you guys go first.
I'm gonna get my part of the way because it'll be pretty quick. I'm obviously not the big gamer guy with all the nerd.
You own a
knowledge.
Switch.
I do. Yeah, my wife plays it a lot.
Are you gonna buy the new Switch?
No, it will literally do nothing for me.
Right.
So there's no reason, like, we don't play it portable. We don't take it very far. The odd time when I don't want to watch her play a game, she'll pick it up and play it on the couch. The one that we have is going to suffice just fine for that.
Mhm.
There's nothing at all in this that makes me want to buy it, outside of the fact that if I could sell mine now and make pretty decent money on it and then upgrade it for like $100, maybe I'd do it. That would be the only thing, and that's just for the sake of having something new. Like, that would be the only reason.
Okay.
Next.
That's fair. I won't be buying one either.
Yeah.
No. I don't play it portable enough either. It's always docked. I literally have a dock on the basement TV, and I have one upstairs because we play it on both. So I mean, if I was doing handheld all the time, if I was on a subway every day or whatever it might be, then yeah, I probably would. I mean, having the OLED is going to be nice for portable.
Mm-hmm.
I just pray, and I swear if Nintendo ducks me on this one, if they don't make it so that you can like port on both docks, like if you can take the new one and put it on the old dock, or the
No,
old
you
one put
can.
on the
You
new
can.
dock,
You can.
they better. If they switch, I swear, if they pull an iPhone and just make dongles and shit, I'll be done. I'll be so mad at Nintendo. But no, I'm not gonna buy it. I do think for someone who doesn't have a Nintendo Switch now, spending the extra $50 for the new one it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, because that's the one good thing about the move is it's not a huge upgrade in price.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like like from the PS4 to the PS5, it's a massive upgrade in price. But you're obviously getting a lot more. In this situation, you're obviously not, so at least the price isn't going to be crazy. But I feel like all they did was just made a change for that one niche of people who make a portable. That's like that's really the only purpose for the change.
I'm gonna toss this one to you, Drake. But I think, and maybe you can agree with me or disagree with me, I don't think Nintendo's done. I think this is just like an in-between stage for them.
I agree.
And go on rant.
Yeah, and go on rant. So, yeah, I agree with a lot of what you guys are saying. Am I gonna buy one? No, don't need to have one. Like you guys said, I play a lot of pretty much if I'm playing mine, it's on its dock at home, so I don't need to. Do I understand why Nintendo did this? Yes, and I'm not by all means, discussing that, because this has been a Switch been out for a while, and this is
5 years.
This is more of
4?
I think for 5, but this is a device saying, okay, for people who are going to be picking up a Switch for the first time, this is when you should get. It should almost be called like a refreshed or something like that. Like
Yeah.
just the new standard Switch, essentially. So you have the Lite, and you'll just have this one. The other one should just not be made anymore, personally, is what I think it should be. Because there's no need for it. Especially if it's within like $50 of what it was beforehand, right? So that's what it is. I think that big companies like this don't make decisions without the analytics of it, and I'm sure that a lot of their players do play portable, which is why they want to do maybe this upgrade for them if they did want to do that. So if they could, great. There you go. You've got a little bit of an upgrade there. What I am upset about a little bit is that the fact that there was not much of this is very much for new Switch players. This isn't much of an upgrade to want. And the one thing I get a little worried about, not worried about, but just upset about, is that the Switch has done very well. Like, it's
amazing.
It's very well. It's very, very high selling product. So a lot of people have them. Sure, you have new kids that are growing up every day that are going to get Switches and things like that, sure. But a lot of people do have them. So as much as you're catering to people who are new to Switch coming in, here's a better one. It's not really doing any service to people who have been using Switch since the start.
You're not like you're not getting people out of their leases. Like, you're not pulling somebody out of their current product like of any type of sales.
Correct. And so there's no upgrade. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think Nintendo is even there yet. For people always ask people, because typically, Nintendo players aren't always there for the crazy hardware upgrades, right? They're not. If they are, they're buying PCs or they're playing PS5 or Xbox Series X. But the big thing is 4K for me. 4K for like a lot of people just say 4K. It's like, oh, that just means better graphics. It's yes and no. What the big thing is that we all now have larger TVs as natural. Like 65-inch TVs are what the cost of a 45-inch TV was years ago. So you can get bigger TVs now. So 1080p is kind of getting stretched a little bit as it's getting bigger and bigger, right? So you want to play them on bigger TVs. You want to sit a little farther back or maybe even closer and have them bigger, larger. So you want just a little bit more crisp when I'm watching my favorite Pokemon, Galvant and Cross, because they do make beautiful games. So they should be maybe a little bit more crisp where I can see them in 4K, because you play games like, and it's not even relatively close, but you look at like Miles Morales in 4K on a PS5. It's just, oh my God. But anyways, and I think that in the package that the Switch is in, look at the size of that PS5. Look at the size of the Xbox Series X. It wasn't there just to make a statement. It's there because they need fucking room. Because that's how large they need for airflow, for the graphics cards, for things like that to run that well of content. So I just don't think the hardware is necessarily there yet for them to run that much of an upgrade in a small package of a Switch, or else it would just get bigger. And that dock would have to, or it's either that or that dock would have to be redesigned. Where there's games like you can't just, it might have to take away the opportunity to say, I'm playing a game here, putting on here, it continues onto the TV, because that dock is just like a glorified HDMI port.
So so you think Nintendo is gonna just keep the Switch the way it is, like the new OLED,
until they can upgrade,
and they're gonna just maybe they'll do a non-portable option. They'll just do here it is, plug it into the TV. It's actually a powerhouse. Yeah, let's go have fun. Do you think that's the next step?
I don't think they'll abandon the Switch too much, because I think a huge appeal of the Switch is the fact that you can pick it up. But I do think that they may have a different version of it when they go out to maybe this Pro. That has to be like, okay, if you want to play it in 4K, you have to plug in your Switch first and then turn it on and cycle it through there, because it's going to have to stay in that mode to play in 4K or do whatever. And then they may require developers to be like, look, you're going to have to make a 4K version of this game. You're going to have to make a 1080p version of this game.
When does Dread come out?
I'm not too sure.
Soon, remember. Isn't it?
I think it's this year. Yeah.
I think it's like August.
Yeah, but that would be really cool in like a big 4K or something like that. So anyways, what I mean is that like the dock itself is going to have to be repurposed to have a little bit more power in it. Yeah. Because right now, like I said, it's just like a glorified HDMI port that also charges your device. And gives you a bit of internet. So they need
the new one's white and looks crisp.
Yeah, and
does look nice.
And you're not going to be able to run it just like, because right now you just basically plug in your USB-C cord and like when you're putting it on there, right? So they're going to have like a Switch that may have a couple other like ports on the bottom that when you plug in, it's a little bit more like heavy duty to plug in, so that it really is running it in a more of like a 4K. Because when you're running 4K, like you hear the PS5 or the Xbox Series X fan going and things like that, and you hear that stuff. So it works hard. So I understand why that's there, but I do hope that they are still working on something to get a little bit more out of it.
Zelda. You'll come out with a new Zelda.
That could be an opportunity, because Breath of the Wild 2, they were very strategic in how they built that.
It'll shatter records.
But they designed it from visually. Like it looked good, but it didn't pull a lot of power out of it that would kill your game or anything like that, right? So I think they would be cool to just be like, what if those developers that made that game so fucking beautiful had something with a bit more power? What could they achieve with it, right? I just love to see it, but
you love to see it.
You love to see.
Nintendo players, again, typically their mass audience are not
it's not
graphic junkies like me. They're not like me. We're graphic junkies. I like playing Nintendo games no matter what, but I also will go onto PlayStation 5 or my PC to specifically play a game where I can look at and go, holy shit, that's beautiful. And like, that's gorgeous. Like, I love it. I played Battlefield 5 like just because I'm getting ready for 2042, and I'm playing that on Ultra on my PC, and it's just Michael Bay explosions the entire time, and I'm just sitting there like I'm in a confetti party. Like,
Here I am. Here I am, the guy that loves like Age of Empires too.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about like our dynamic with, especially with what we're doing the channel and that, is because Dave and I are two completely opposite players.
Yeah.
I like a story-driven game too, but I love it to be beautiful and like have high fidelity and everything like that. Where Dave's very much like,
I'm like, can I be strategic?
is it a stickman game? Because that's like, I don't give a fuck. That's what it is. But he likes that aspect of it. So the two of us together, like, it's pretty cool when you see it. But
Yeah.
Nintendo, man, I understand why,
Make
but I
something
wish they
beautiful.
would at least say
TBD.
we're still working on something. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we're it's coming. You know, but yeah,
They're saying it without saying it.
yeah.
Nintendo's fine right now because they just released a new Smash Bros. Character. So like, they're like, hey, we're good. We no, for real though. If they do that every 6 months, they're like, people will leave us alone.
People will
There's
leave
one
us
more
alone.
left. There's only one more character coming, and no one knows what it is. It could literally be anything. And now it's like, what's the last one gonna be?
Yeah.
It's like it's pissing me off almost because it's like there's literally only one more left, and
Do they have any
if
partnerships?
it's this guy, if it's X, that means fucking A B C D E F G F. Like the rest of them can't be in it. So who's gonna make the cut?
But like
Dun, dun, dun.
they maybe it's like a partnership, or maybe it's just somebody. Maybe it's like just Waluigi, the last
Oh,
one.
God, I hope so.
You
He
know,
needs to be in the game.
The question is do you go with somebody that is a core? Yeah, this is a good question. I'm gonna have this question for you. Do you go with somebody for the last one that is a core Nintendo character, maybe lost and forgotten or whatever? Or do you go with something that like a new Nintendo partnership and you integrate that there? Like hypothetically, it's like Master Chief or some shit, like from Halo.
Honestly, I just hope it's Birdo. Imagine it's some shit. It's real shitty. Like they just botched the last
That'd be
attempt.
brutal.
Fuck.
I don't know, man. That's a good question. I think they're trending to partnerships. You know, you have the Joker, and you have Cloud, like you have all these Sonic, like you have so many characters that are not really like Nintendo based, like not like born and raised Nintendo.
Do they already have something Pokemon related in there?
Oh yeah, there's lots of
Okay.
Pokemon.
I figured as much.
Yeah, Pokemon are always in it.
Because like with it being the 25th anniversary, with all the stuff that they're coming out with, could it be related to that? Because I
Could
mean, because again, Nintendo obviously can and does lean a lot on Pokemon and the ability to keep things.
It's just
fresh
gonna be
with that,
another
too.
Mario. Mario with
Crazy.
another cape.
Mario with a different version of a cape.
So, speaking of the Pokemon though, and that coming up, so I've been checking ever since July has started. I check the news every day to see if Unite has launched,
Right.
like
You
every
ready
day,
for it, eh?
because I'm ready for it, man. You know, I know they're stress testing the Switch and all that first. It will be crossplay, and you guys were talking about it a little bit on the last podcast where I wasn't here. Yeah, it is It will be crossplay with your phone and everything like that. I played the beta on my phone. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll have a way to do it on a computer?
Yes. No.
No.
Nintendo doesn't really do anything on the computer.
Step up, boys.
Unless Pokemon wants to try and get into it. I don't know. But I do.
I mean, with that version of a game, you would have the opportunity to, like League style.
Yeah, but I think the
PC.
controls are very much based around it either being a controller or a phone. Like
Yeah.
the way that they have the controls laid out on the screen and everything like that, it's very much already ready for that. And the way that they upgrade like you switch out abilities and powers in it, you don't just add more or whatever. Like if you keep leveling up, you can switch it out from another power that maybe you don't want to use as much because you wanted to get it and you're trying different combos and that as you're evolving your Pokemon and going through it.
I see nothing in your argument that dictates why it wouldn't be on a computer.
Because they would have to
It just
change. They would have to
might
change the complete UI for I think for the computer and that. And I don't know the last time we've seen a Nintendo game on a computer.
No, I know. That's why I was like, I'm hoping they do it.
Yeah,
That'd be great. Like download on like via Steam or something like that, right? They'd have to have a partnership with that, but
yeah. But I do think
or
it
just
would.
a standalone.
I think it
download
would.
and buy.
I think it would give an unfair advantage. But
Well, sucks to suck. Get a computer. I don't care
well,
about you.
no,
It's not you specifically. I mean the people that he's got a
But
keyboard
Switch,
and a mouse.
I think
Yeah,
Switch.
I do. Because I'm not a peasant.
I think Switch and
my phone.
Switch and
I would never play that game on my phone.
Switch and I would. I did for the beta.
No, because then I would be like, oh, I feel like I have a disadvantage. And then
Yeah,
I'd be
but
that guy.
if it's just switching phone, then
Oh, take out my Switch all the time though. Having actual
Yeah, but
controller
if
instead of having to tap all the time, or you're trying to go and stuff. How are you gonna tap up in the left corner when you want your guy to back up, but also you want to hit two buttons at the same time? Like, no, I'm not doing it on my phone.
It works pretty well. Like in all honesty,
No.
when they had it set up in that, but jeez.
We gotta end this.
Oh no. Oh man. But yeah, I don't know. It worked pretty well, I thought.
Okay.
I think and it'll be type like, look, sometimes you don't plan to bring your Switch with you, man. And like you'll just kinda be like we could be sitting here on the podcast, finish up, be like, yo, you guys want to jump in a game? And do that. And like we could jump in and play some of it and stuff like that, right? So
yeah.
anyways, I'm pretty excited for it. So
I'm
I mean
ready
we
to play
covered a lot today. I think we covered what? Pokemon,
Boys weekends.
Nintendo,
Terrible
Boys
segues.
Weekends, sports.
We had all the
Oh.
topics.
It's not
The
bad.
only thing that we missed, and it doesn't really have to be part of the conversation. It'll be something that's definitely going to be coming up in the next little while as more news comes out. Tyson Fury has COVID.
Is it
And the
true?
fight's
Have you
gone.
confirmed it yet?
I've seen a few news articles now, so I don't think it's a farce. TBD. I want to find out more news before we talk
He
about it.
did it on
anyway.
purpose. He got scared
Yeah.
Wilder.
Okay. And that's where we're wrapping up because Drake is spouting out of his ass.
He's good at that.
So again, everybody out there, thank you very much for tuning in. We so much appreciate it. Again, we had lots of great conversations today. A lot more going on in the sporting world coming out. More Pokemon stuff coming up soon. Obviously, lots of gaming coming in. So please let us know what you guys want to hear about the next time. And until then, thank you. We are